So this is going to be another installation in the Roll20 API AreaMapper tutorial session. So in this session, we're going to go over the drawing tools. So let's get an area created here. What I'm actually doing when I create an area is I'm creating the beginnings of a floor plan. I'm going to go over floor plans in a little bit more depth. Just to show you guys something, you can draw complex polygons, and what the script does is it closes the polygon, and then it traces the outer border to try to figure out, what would be like the union of everything you drew. So if I hit escape here, it should do that. And as you can see, it didn't leave any gaps in between, no islands, whatever, like no holes in the polygon. It just creates a clean polygon based on what you did. As I mentioned in a prior video, there's a bug with Roll20's API where sometimes it doesn't draw everything perfectly. I'm doing some workarounds, but sometimes it's not perfect, so redraw should get everything in the proper order, and now we can see these walls. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about floor plans. So we created a basic floor plan that is this overall shape that defines the area. To add to the floor plan, you click the floor plan button until it's green. So as we saw in prior videos, some things have sort of a binary on or off state, such as active. Right now it's inactive. Now it is active. Floor plans have 3 states. So this is off or inactive. Now it's in sort of an add mode, and now it's in a remove mode. So this will make more sense as we go through this, so let's give it a try. But what we're going to do right now is add to the floor plan, so we want this in green. And you can always look here for instructions on what you're supposed to do. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm going to, maybe I don't like what I did here, I'm going to add to the floor plan by drawing another polygon on top of this one. So what it does is it closes out this polygon, and then it basically turns the floor plan into the union of the existing polygon and the new one. So we have now extended the floor plan to whatever we drew. Does pretty good with complex shapes and stuff, just like the other one did. So there you go. That's adding to the floor plan. Now to remove from the floor plan, we're basically doing the same thing. We're now drawing the part the section that we want to be taken out. And there you go. As I mentioned, we right now don't support punching a hole in the floor plan. That's ignored. It also makes no sense to remove something outside of it. It has logic to make sense of what you're doing. So let's talk about edge walls. So as you can see by default, when you drew this floor plan, it created these walls around the border of your floor plan. These are called edge walls. So all of these block light, as you can see what they are, and you can change what image they're drawn with. That'll be covered in more depth in another tutorial. But they don't have to block light. For instance, say that you have more than one area on the page, and you want players to somehow interact with both, or this area is on top of some sort of other image. What you can do is basically create gaps in these edge walls. So we're going to go to remove, and what we're doing here is we're just drawing the space where we want there to be gaps. So again, what we're doing is this is going to be a polygon where it looks for intersections of edge walls in the polygon we drew, and it's going to remove those from the floor. So now, right here and here, there are no edge walls. To add edge walls, let me remove another section. So to add edge walls, you get this over to green, And you can't just, add like a single section of an, like a fragment of a gap in an edge wall. You actually have to like grab an entire gap, and it'll just, fill it back in. So there's another kind of wall called inner walls. These are basically just walls that are free-form standing within the floor plan. For these, you're really just drawing shapes, and it just puts walls wherever you drew. Let's do some more. So that's adding inner walls. These also block light, the same as edge walls do. To remove inner walls, it's a little bit more sophisticated. You can really just draw, any polygon, and it will remove whatever sections were intersected by that polygon. Okay, doors. So the idea with doors is that you're connecting a door between two walls. So, we have freestanding, inner walls. We don't have freestanding doors. The idea being that you'd almost never want that. You really want to like block off, visibility, between a section, so people can't, players can't peek through corners or anything like that. So the idea is that you find two sections of walls that you want to connect with a door, and then you basically draw something to indicate what you're connecting. So if I draw this polygon, what I'm doing is I'm saying that I want this section here to be connected to this section here. And in this case, because we're actually like dealing with like the middle of these wall segments, it's going to find the center point between these two and create a door there. As you notice here, we just connected an inner wall with an edge wall. You can connect any combination of walls, inner or edge, with your doors. Another kind of door is if you want to, basically like, here, let me just show you. I'm going to create an inner wall. And what I want to do is I want to turn a section of this into a door. That's a very common case. So I'm going to cut a hole in this inner wall. And then I'm going to create a door connecting these two segments here. What happens here is, rather than finding the centerpiece of the part we connected, it realizes that we captured the edge of a wall. So that is going to be preferred, and it's actually going to connect this end to this end with a door. So it looks like there's a little gap here between the doors. That's just the way that they're drawn. There's another thing here where we can see exactly how these are, and that is blueprint mode. So on this, we can see that our doors are in this orangish brown, and it's actually lined up perfectly against the wall. And these are the same parts that block light. Let's take a look. It's not drawn that way. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, light's blocked right here, and it's all very clean. Oh, that's because blueprint mode doesn't block light. Hang on. We can do it this way. There we go. So as you can see, even though there's a little bit of gap in the door here between the walls, visually, it's actually blocking light straight across. So that's doors. Let's talk about removing doors. To remove a door, the same as doing an edge wall. You're basically you just want to draw around the door that you want to delete. Chests are free-form rectangles. So you can just draw whatever, and what it's going to do is just calculate sort of like the basic dimensions of the shape you drew and put a chest there. Let's draw another chest just so we can see a different shape. See? So that's how chests are drawn. Let me remove a chest just so you can see how that works. Again, you're just sort of drawing around it so we can find the chest that you're deleting. Now chests, like I said, right now it's just sort of drawn to a rectangle. These can be rotated and resized and repositioned. So the way that you're doing that is you actually want to select the chest that you're going to edit, and you click Run Script. And then you see, you know, these are like interactive properties. You know, like you can open the chest, lock it, and do those other things. Those also happen with doors or any other interactive object. I'll go into that in more depth in another video, but right now I'm interested in the reposition factor. So I'm going to click reposition to activate this. And now when I move the chest, it actually gets repositioned. And I can also rotate and resize the chest. So when reposition is off, any interaction with the chest actually opens it. So that's how you can, you know, move a chest around. So let's see. So that's chests. Trapdoors, logically they're identical to chests. You know, it builds a trapdoor around the size of the drawing you created. It has a reposition mode, the same as the chest does. Also, to remove a trapdoor, you just draw around it and it will delete it. Light sources actually work the same way. Let's see here. So here's a light source. Here's a different shape light source. And again, if you click on it, do run script, there's a reposition, so you can, you know, rotate it, you know, make it look like it's attached to this wall, do whatever. And again, this is more a topic for a different video, but when the light source is on, it actually projects light. And you know, there are options here for, like, you know, controlling, you know, the depth of the light and the brightness. So let's see if we have anything else. I guess that is it for drawing. So I'm gonna close this video out with this much, but basically that's how you use this thing. I'll do more videos on like interactive objects and some of the other more advanced features, but hopefully this helps out. Thanks.